Welcome to the deep dive. You've handed us a really compelling stack of sources this week.
Yeah, it's a perfect snapshot of corporate strategy meeting, real world
It
logistics.
really is. We're diving into the mechanics of high-speed corporate expansion
Hmm.
and the crucial role of quality control, specifically within that really competitive serviced office sector.
Mm.
Our focus is on Arena Offices, a pretty significant regional provider, and a recent, I would say, highly strategic move they've just made with their leadership team.
And it's so much more than just an HR announcement, isn't it?
Exactly. It's more like a blueprint for how a company tries to operationalize its promises of quality while it's undergoing this really rapid growth.
Okay, let's unpack this. The mission for you, the learner, is to sort of peel back the layers of this announcement.
Right.
We want to understand what effective operational and facilities leadership actually looks like in practice when you're trying to scale a real estate portfolio.
And how do you keep that five-star service standard when your physical footprint just, suddenly doubles? That's the question.
That's exactly the tension we're exploring. I mean, the core news is the appointment of Duncan Boxall as Arena Office's new Director of Estates and Facilities.
Right.
And on the surface, that sounds a little...
Bit bureaucratic, a bit dry.
Yeah, exactly. But strategically, this move just screams proactive risk mitigation.
Okay, explain that.
Well, when a company gets on an aggressive growth trajectory, the very first thing that usually suffers is facilities maintenance and responsiveness.
Because the old systems just can't handle the volume.
They're overwhelmed. By bringing in a director of estates and facilities now, the company is signaling that the physical infrastructure, the actual nuts and bolts of the workspace, is the anchor of their brand.
So they're shoring up the foundations before building the next floor.
Perfectly put, they're strengthening management efficiency to make sure their existing quality doesn't just survive the expansion, but is actually enhanced by it.
Let's turn our attention to this specific individual here.
Yeah.
So Duncan Boxall is stepping into this pivotal director role.
And his background is a really key piece of the puzzle.
It is. The sources are quick to emphasize his, well, impressive background, detailing over 15 years of industry experience. In this sector, that's not just time served, is it?
Not at all. It suggests deep experience managing large distributed commercial portfolios.
Right.
And when we connect this higher to the bigger picture, you see the timing demands a very specific skill set. Arena Offices is in the middle of this continuing expansion.
So what does 15 years really mean in this field?
Well, think about it. It means he's not just fixed leaky pipes. He has probably overseen major capital expenditure projects, integrated new tech stacks.
Things like building management systems, BMS, that kind of thing.
Exactly. BMS, complex security, access control systems, and he's likely navigated several economic cycles too. That kind of experience is invaluable.
So the need for a senior leader isn't just to fill a seat.
No, it's to provide the strategic vision you need to standardize hundreds of operational protocols across what will soon be a very large network of buildings.
And without that standardization,
Scaling just becomes synonymous with inconsistent quality.
I see the necessity, but let me push back a bit. Is this hire truly a solution? Or is it also just a sophisticated PR signal? I mean, scaling is inherently messy.
Mm.
If Boxall is joining a team he praises for their dedication and professionalism, as it says in his quote, doesn't that imply the existing teams were already doing a good job?
That's a fair question.
So why not just promote from within?
And I think that touches on the classic corporate challenge of hitting an operational ceiling.
Yep.
The existing team might be fantastic at managing, say, 5 or 6 centers,
Sure.
but scaling to 12 and then planning for more expansion, that demands a distinct shift from tactical management to strategic leadership.
Oh, okay.
A director at this level often brings expertise in portfolio-wide contract negotiation. Think standardized, favorable agreements for everything from electricity procurement to cleaning services across different municipalities.
That's a high-level strategic function that internal teams might just not have the capacity for during a growth surge.
Precisely. This role exists to bridge that gap between the ground-level execution and the C-suite strategy.
That reframes it entirely. It's not about fixing a broken team. It's about providing a strategic umbrella for a good one.
Yes.
Now, let's quantify the scope, because
Right.
this is where the operational pressure really lives. Boxall will directly oversee 12 Arena Offices centers.
Which is significant.
It's a significant scale, but what makes it complex is the distribution. He's not managing 12 identical towers in one city. He's managing a distributed network.
And what's fascinating here is precisely that geographical spread and the, let's be honest, logistical headache that comes with it.
Right.
These 12 centers are strategically located across a commercially dense but highly varied part of the south of England. We're talking Surrey, Hampshire, Berkshire, and Dorset.
And listing those specific counties is important for you, the listener, to understand.
Well, it's huge. Each area presents different logistical challenges. Surrey and Berkshire, being so close to London and highly affluent, they'll have very distinct service expectations and labor costs.
Compared to, say, parts of Hampshire or Dorset.
Exactly. And then you have regulations, local government permits for even minor alterations, access to specialized tech vendors like for elevators or generators that will vary significantly across those 4 county lines.
So the job isn't just managing infrastructure. He's managing 4 distinct regulatory and economic micro-markets at the same time.
He is. He can't treat them all as one homogeneous entity. Standardization is the goal, sure, but the execution has to be flexible.
Can you give an example?
Of course. Take something as mundane but critical as procurement for, say, air conditioning units.
Okay.
The challenge isn't just making sure the unit runs, it's enforcing energy efficiency standards and guaranteeing identical preventative maintenance schedules across 12 different buildings of different ages located in 4 areas with varying utility costs.
Wow.
And that's before we even get to the core mandate: service continuity and client satisfaction.
Which, in the service office sector, is everything. The physical space is the product.
It is the core product. If the lighting is poor or the bandwidth drops, that's not an inconvenience for the client. That is an immediate, quantifiable interruption to their business,
So Boxall's responsibility is fundamentally about ensuring zero interruption.
which translates directly to zero churn for arena offices.
That connects the facility management function directly to the bottom line client retention. If the facilities fail, the client walks,
Absolutely.
which is why the role is explicitly defined to go beyond just maintenance,
Yeah.
right? Focusing on rapid issue resolution, those client satisfaction metrics.
Yeah.
So if logistics are the challenge, let's shift to the overarching business philosophy that's driving all this. What is the stated goal of the new leadership beyond just fixing things fast?
Well, the philosophy is pretty ambitious. Simon West, the group chief executive, he articulated this very clearly. He emphasized Boxall's wealth of knowledge and passion for delivering exceptional facilities management. But, and this is the critical part, he linked it to the company's grander vision: making the workplace an enjoyable and productive environment.
Enjoyable and productive.
That fusion is the modern service office differentiator. It's not enough to just provide 4 walls and a desk anymore.
The facility has to actively contribute to the client's success.
It does. An enjoyable environment suggests good air quality, ergonomic design, great natural light, seamless tech. A productive environment means, 99.9% uptime for high-speed internet and instant resolution of any operational snag.
And the new director is tasked with translating that corporate vision into 12 distinct physical realities.
That's the job.
It sounds like the facilities team is being elevated from what was maybe a reactive cost center to a proactive, competitive asset.
That's a great way to put it.
And Boxall himself seems to echo that. He talks about his commitment to developing solutions and creating even better spaces that help businesses flourish. And this is a massive takeaway for you, the learner. The most successful modern workspace providers, they don't see themselves as just landlords anymore.
No, they're business enablers.
Exactly. They frame their physical space as a catalyst for their client's growth. If the space helps the business flourish, the client stays, and the provider wins.
Precisely. And that's the strategic value of this deep dive. We're seeing a mid-sized regional player recognize that to compete with larger national networks, they have to execute better than everyone else on the ground.
And that consistent quality across all 12 centers is how they do it.
It's the only way to safeguard client loyalty. If clients are outsourcing their entire office operation to Arena, they expect flawless execution. The pressure is just immense, especially because that market across the south of England is intensely competitive.
So this hire is really a major investment in mitigating churn risk.
Through operational flawlessness, yes.
But let's think about the internal friction this must create. Boxall has to step in and immediately standardize the operations of 12 distinct centers, some of which may have been operating, semi-autonomously for years.
Sure.
What do you think is the biggest internal hurdle he faces in achieving that portfolio-wide consistency?
I think the largest hurdle is probably the integration of legacy technology and differing vendor relationships. Think about something as simple as a computerized maintenance management system, a CMMS.
The software for tracking work orders and things like that.
Right. If those 12 centers are currently using 3 different systems, Boxall's first strategic project is likely consolidating all that data and standardizing on one platform.
And that kind of consolidation impacts every single team member.
Everyone, the on-site maintenance person, the regional manager, the finance team tracking what's being spent. But if he can standardize that CMMS, he gains instant portfolio-wide visibility into key performance indicators.
Like average time to resolution.
Cost per square foot for maintenance, vendor performance, all of it. That centralized data is the engine of efficiency and quality control during an expansion.
So the goal isn't just fixing the air conditioner in Guildford.
No.
It's ensuring the system for fixing the air conditioner in Guildford is identical to the one in Southampton and Poole, providing predictable, measurable results across the entire portfolio.
Exactly right. And that allows the CEO, Simon West, to confidently tell investors and future clients that Arena Offices maintains a unified quality promise, regardless of which physical location you're in, Surrey, Hampshire, Berkshire, or Dorset.
And the director of estates is the person who guarantees that promise is kept on the ground.
He is the guarantor.
That makes a strategic appointment crystal clear. So what does this all mean? Let's zoom out and summarize the core learning here.
Okay.
In a time of rapid scale for a serviced office provider, and managing 12 centers across 4 commercially distinct counties is absolutely rapid scale, investing in high-level, experienced leadership like Duncan Boxall isn't a luxury.
It's an organizational requirement.
It's the core mechanism for maintaining quality control and delivering on that brand promise of a productive environment across a distributed network.
The deep dive really shows us that these high-level operational appointments during growth phases, they're not about simple logistics. They are strategic maneuvers.
Aimed at what?
They're aimed at maximizing 2 outcomes at the same time: robust operational efficiency and ultimately superior client success and retention. You simply cannot grow your physical footprint without growing your strategic quality management capacity. This hire is the operational anchor that makes the whole expansion viable.
A fantastic breakdown of a really pivotal strategic move in the flexible real estate sector. That link between facilities management and client success is sharper than ever.
It really is.
Thank you for sharing these sources and for joining us on the deep dive.
My pleasure. And, building on the source material, if the ultimate goal is to help businesses flourish by creating truly better spaces, that means moving beyond just the obvious. So here's something for you, the listener, to maybe mull over on your own. What is the single most overlooked element of operational efficiency that, if standardized poorly across 12 centers, could be the first to break the client's experience?
So not the big things like HVAC and IT.
No, we talked about those. Think about the invisible systems like waste management efficiency, or the consistency of ambient scent and lighting levels from one building to the next. How might a director of estates prioritize, measure, and enforce consistency on that invisible infrastructure across 12 different, potentially unique centers? That's the real test of a seamless experience.